Hello everybody and welcome. My name is theF0R3N and welcome back to the Q&A session. Just to kick it off, if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below and we will be sure to answer them next week. I try and answer as many as possible, so if it means that it's a longer video, it means it's a longer video. But let's jump right into it. This is a question that was not necessarily asked on this video, or the past video, not this one, but it's been asked all the time, everywhere, and it's, can you make me a thumbnail? No. that's the simple answer. No. The more detailed answer, I actually seek out my clients for who I want to make thumbnails for. They did not come to me. I went to them, and that's how I do my work. I try to actually seek people out as opposed to just taking in work. I don't need to take in work. I really don't. I choose to. And yeah, so I seek my clients. They don't seek me. But then when I tell them what I do, they want me. So that's kind of how things work. As far as like what I do. Zambaboo3 asked, do you play claw or normal? I play normal. I don't quite understand how people can play claw. I don't have the dexterity with my finger to like push down on a button sideways, and like I just don't. How is claw? Isn't it like this? Isn't it like this? Like you have your middle finger on your bumper and trigger or something like that, and then you have this one for all these buttons, something like that. Like I can't do that. Maybe if this finger was actually doing this instead of like sideways, like if I could just like completely break this finger off and make it like it's a thumb, then I could maybe do it. But yeah, so I play normal. I don't understand how like Optic Merc or Scumpy, like how they play claw, but you know, to each his own. To each his own. A Punk Gaming asked, if given the opportunity, would you take a roster spot for Optic to edit, or are you content with just designing? If I were to take a roster spot with Optic, it would be for designing. It wouldn't be for editing. I'm not an editor, so I don't know why they would pick me up as an editor if I'm not an editor. That's basically like the simple answer. But I've got, hopefully in the near future, I'll have a lot going on, especially with my daughter coming soon and all that. So honestly, like, it would be great to be a part of Optic. You know, it's like when everybody was getting partnered and they wanted that machinima name. Like, being an Optic is like that. But at the same time, like, I don't think I would have time for it. Unfortunately, I don't think I'd have time for it. But yeah, I would take it. I would take it. Just Crafted asked, hi or bye. Well, I haven't seen you on my channel before. I don't really know how to answer this question. So I'm gonna go with hello and welcome. Hi. Because I don't necessarily know who you are. I haven't seen you around. Let's see here. Oh yeah. So I have a question from Distant Defiant and ABSDZ19994. So I have a question from both of them. They're related. Defiant's question said, I'm really thinking about getting into graphics. Where would be a good place to start? Nice Q&A. And then ABSDZ1994 asked, hey man, I need some help. I'll be graduating June 7th, I'm assuming, from high school, just because of the 1994. And I was wondering how you got a job in web design. One, I'm not a web designer. Because mainly I would like to get a job where I can make mobile app designs and web designs. Any help would be appreciated. So I told him that I would answer it in this Q&A. A good place to start out for design, assuming that you are graduating from high school, just by the year or whatever in your thing, I would suggest going to school. That's my biggest suggestion for everybody. I am a very strong advocate of education comes first. Self-learning is something that you do on the side. For instance, I could have sat here and done tutorials all day long, and I'd be amazing in making those looks, those tutorials. Or I went to school and I learned how to use each individual tool and can do anything with those tools. So it's a double-edged sword. There's a lot of people that do really well from just doing tutorials, but there's also a large number of people that do really well because of school. So it's hard to say. If you're a school person and you learn best from being taught by others, I suggest going the school route. Don't even think about money as an option. You should never put a price on your education. I didn't. I'm $100,000 in debt, but I didn't put a price on it because education is more important than paying student loans. And my student loans aren't even that expensive, so I don't even mind. The second side to that is going to school. You will learn so much more than you think. We'll go back to the whole making tutorials thing. If you sat at home and made tutorials all day long, you would probably not wake up at a decent time. You would probably stay up really late. But if you went to school and you had to be in class 8 hours a day, and that's pretty much that's a big chunk of the day. Like, you're not awake for much more than 8 hours because you have to go back and do it again the next day. I think that you would become more productive. I think that the reason that I am as productive as I am is because of me going to school. Because I was in class until 1 a.m. or 5 a.m. or 9 a.m. So I could be able to go to any job and be ready to have to work for 8 hours straight at any time of the day. I'm ready for that. Somebody that just does tutorials, they might just wake up at noon, kind of like I did today, and literally just sit there and do tutorials, and that's it. And not very productive, not really sure what they're doing, but they can make these awesome looking things. So my suggestion is go to school. You mentioned web design. I'm not a web designer. I did say that. I'm not a web designer. I'm a graphic designer and a motion designer. Also an interactive designer, which is mobile applications. But that is I only can add that title because I had a job doing it. I didn't get the job because I could do that stuff. I learned that while I was doing the job. So knowing a large number of things can be very useful. Web design is probably the highest paying job out there right now because everybody needs a website. When it comes to web design, I would suggest that you look into coding. Coding is actually where the money is. If you can code, they're gonna want you. They're gonna need you, okay? But if you just design, their wants are gonna be unneeded, basically. So if you're a really good coder, you're the one that people want. You're the one that people need to have. If you're a really good designer, you're expendable. They could easily find somebody that can code like a motherfucker and make something that looks half as good, and as long as it works, that's all that matters. Because if I can only make something that looks good but I can't make it work, I'm useless. So I would suggest looking into coding. It's where the money is. If you can learn both ends of it, that's great. If you can be good at both ends of it, that's even better. Not many people can do that, but there are people that can. So yeah, that's my suggestion. I suggest go to school, learn coding, learn design, learn color, learn traditional art. Like, you'd be surprised how much school is actually going to teach you that you wouldn't expect that you would need to know. But eventually, down the line, it will come in handy. So, anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This has been fairly short, I guess. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions and you're still watching, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll be sure to answer them next week, and I hope you guys have a good day.